You ready, brother?
Let's do it.
It's kind of crazy, isn't it?
I like it. I'm all about doing new stuff.
Welcome to the Prevent Podcast. My name is Manny Garcia, and today I'm here with my best friend, Jesse Davis.
What's that?
And if you'd like to, man, you can go ahead and tell everybody about you. I know you, but I'd like for you to
All right.
break it down.
Jesse Davis, born and raised in Nashville, Tennessee. I've known Manny. How long have we known each other?
13
Has it
years.
been that long?
13.
Yeah, 13 years.
You should be here.
Yep, you got it. Met him through a mutual friend of ours, and we've connected ever since then, and always been able to hang out and grown closer. We all camp together, me and his family and my family. Go camping a lot in the summertime, springtime. Own a construction company. Been doing that 14 or 15 years.
You
Got a
want to plug
wife.
it? Plug it.
Yeah, Surface Masters. Give us a call. We do everything one-stop shop.
All
wife-
throughout Middle Tennessee.
Absolutely. My wife, Heather, she owns a med spa here in Lebanon, Tennessee. She's been doing that. She's been an esthetician, I think, 15 years, but owned her own spot coming on 4 years.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
So 2 kiddos, Bryson and Adeline, 14 and 11. 11-year-olds going on 20, 25 right now.
I'm on the same boat. dude.
Yeah.
The same boat.
Other than that, just trying to stay after it.
Yeah, man.
So-
I can't believe we went by the place where we met the other day. Me and Mary did.
Oh,
The Irish
Yep,
pub.
yep.
Man, just thinking back, I told Mary the other day, I was like, that's where I met Jesse.
Yep.
That's so crazy.
It
Just
is.
thinking
Yep.
all them years, dude, little broke me,
Yeah.
like half of nothing,
Right.
20-something years old. And
Who would have
It's like,
thought we'd be
damn.
where we're at now?
we're sitting in these chairs, dude.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Isn't it crazy?
It is. It's nuts.
This life's been a crazy journey.
Absolutely.
Well, Jesse, I brought you here because, like I have, you've dealt with loss, you've dealt with struggle.
Right.
I'd like to just discuss maybe kind of ways you've learned to navigate the loss you've had.
Yeah.
And I'd let you kind of lean into that a little bit.
Okay.
Well, whatever you want to say,
Gotcha.
you can say, and if there's something you don't want to say, you don't have to.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
So it's been, I think it's 4 years ago. This past November, my dad passed away. Was labeled as COVID. He did have COVID. Had some pre-existing other health conditions. He had COVID 2 or 3 times. I had COVID at least 2 or 3 times. Each time seemed totally fine. Same as me. He said he's had the flu worse than that.
yeah,
But I think what it is once it got so far, breathing slowed down, took him to the hospital, assumed that he was going to be good from there. And first day or two, he was pretty much like stable. And then from that point, slowly started declining. My sister works at Vanderbilt Hospital, so she was there with him, keeping an eye. Of course, I'm not medical savvy, so that was all her. Like she's the nurse. She knows how to do all that stuff, so she kept up with it. But unfortunately, they slowly but surely, like I said, I think he was there 5 to 6 days, maybe 7 days.
I didn't know he was there that long. I thought
Yeah.
it was like a quick thing.
I mean,
I didn't know.
From what I remember, because of course that's part of how I deal with things is I just block it out. Just
Yeah.
get rid of it if it's not helping. But I feel like it was at least 5 to 7 days somewhere in there. But like the first 2, maybe 3 days, like I said, I think he was pretty much stable. And then from that point, all of a sudden they were telling us like, hey, y'all need to call the family in. And we were like, what? Call the family in? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, you just
So,
didn't know it was
but-
that serious.
Yeah.
Hey, do
So-
you want to talk a little bit about your dad? Kind of,
Yeah.
what he
Yeah.
did, and
Yeah, so
you
he
grew
was an optometrist, eye doctor here locally in Lebanon. Owned his own practice previously in, I guess it would be Hermitage maybe, I guess is what the address was. Owned his own practice for quite a few years. Obviously was successful. He was a workaholic, worked all the time. That's how I was raised. Is both my parents they worked.
Yeah. I
Supported
can see where it comes
themselves.
from.
Went to school. Of course, my mom's a nurse. Dad was an eye doctor. So I was brought up around the medical field. Every meal that we had, we talked about poop, throw up, guts, blood, and it was no big deal. So now, of course, we still talk like that, and anybody that's not used to it is looking at us like, dude, I'm trying to eat. And I'm like, it's just poop, man. No big deal. What's wrong with it?
Ain't nothing wrong with little poopy.
So yeah. So he but yeah, he was very successful in his business. Of course, I'm biased. It was my dad, but I mean, every patient that he had always talked about not only how kind and how smart he was, but I mean, dude, he knew everything. He was a genius.
I'll never forget
So-
the time I went to get my I had to go get new prescription
Oh.
glasses. He put the contacts in my eye and told me stop being a sissy. Dude, he pried my eye open. He's like, stop
Yeah.
being a sissy. Dude, I got home with my wife and I'm like,
Can't
Help.
Can't get it
I
out.
can't get it out. Dude, I never put it back in. But your dad, dude, he
Oh,
put that stuff in my eyes. It was like,
that's
stop.
too funny.
It
Yeah,
was so
yeah.
funny. I'll never
But
forget
no,
that.
he was a character. Of course, I mean, he was one of those, like, he seemed quiet to some people who didn't know him, but the people who did know him, they knew that he had that goofy personality. He'd get in
Yep.
his moods where he'd act like a fool. And what's unfortunate, obviously, I mean, it's unfortunate losing him anyways, as young as he was. Like, he was 62, if I remember. I think
Yeah.
62, maybe 63. His father was same age, 62, 63, when he passed from a heart attack. So that's kind of played a little bit of a role on. I've always kind of flown by the seat of my pants, live life to the fullest, make as many memories as I can, and that just pushed me more to say, hey, life's too short.
I gotta say, between most of the people that I've ever met, most people I know, you and I are a lot alike in like not by going the book.
Yeah. Oh,
We
yeah.
like to
Yeah.
step. I
Yeah.
mean,
I'm definitely the black sheep for sure, and
well,
I'll own that. I'll own that
no, I don't.
100%. But
I
I mean,
wouldn't.
I definitely don't follow the. I mean, I hate to say not follow the rules. Like obviously legalities wise, like anything legally, I try. I
The
do speed. I
textbook.
do speed a little bit.
Yeah,
but
but
other than that, like not to say I'm not a bad guy.
Yeah.
But I did always read outside of the lines.
Right.
So like even in school, I would try to think of like, okay, instead of doing it this way, I can do it this way, and I'm still gonna pass.
Yep.
So and my dad, he used to get mad because I'd say, well, if I end up graduating, go to college, get my degree, get my PhD, whatever,
Yep.
all a patient's going to know is they're going to see my diploma on the wall and say, "Oh, he's a doctor." They're
Yep.
not going to think, "Oh, he only had a C average."
Yeah.
Versus my mom, my dad, my sister, they're all 4.0 all the way through school. I was like 2.1, 2 whatever, like passing. That was my goal. Like as long as I
Yep.
can get out, that's all I need.
Yep. And I'll say, like with school and with more that I've learned, it's not all about school. It's about your ethic,
Oh,
your
yeah.
work
Yeah.
ethic, but especially with
Yeah.
you, like seeing you with your construction
Right.
business. Like we'll be at camping or on a vacation. Like, bro, I got 3 contracts
Yeah.
signed sitting on vacation. I'm like, bro, I'm out here
Yeah.
delivering packages.
Right. Yep.
You know,
You
it's
got it.
it's crazy, but I
Yeah.
admire you for
Yeah.
that. You know, I
No,
really
yeah.
do. You work hard and
Yeah, I try, man. Like I said, especially with having the wife and the kiddos, that definitely is my why. That gives me the push to say, like, I mean, I would still succeed on my own, but that's definitely my why. It gives me the reason to say, you know what? I don't care about the money. I care about the memories the money can buy.
yeah.
So
100%, man. We're on the same boat. That's why I'm glad we go camping.
Yep.
You know, to everybody at home. We
Yep.
actually bought a camper last winter, and we took Heather and Jesse with us one night just to kind of break our camper in one day. And then by the time we got home from that one night camping trip, they had already bought a camper.
which is funny because her parents, my wife's parents, they for 8 or 9 years had numerous campers. I think they had 7, 8, 9, 10, however many campers, a lot of campers.
Yep.
And begged us to get one. And number one, financially, we weren't in a position to be able to do it. Number two, neither one of us were like, yeah, let's go camping. And Heather definitely was not, let's go camping. So I just kind of wrote it off like, yeah, we're not campers.
Mary's
But
the same way.
As soon as you guys invited us, yeah, I remember that night we stayed with y'all. We're sitting around the fire, and all of a sudden I look over and she's looking on her phone at campers, and I was like, oh, what are you doing?
Dude, it didn't take 24 hours.
That's how she is, though. Once she gets something in her mind, it's gonna happen. So
Yeah.
that's why I just went ahead and said, okay, let's do this. Let's
Yeah.
get a camper.
Yeah.
So,
You know,
it's
after
best thing we've done, man. It's been awesome. Obviously for us, it's been awesome and making great memories. But even for the kids, it's been really cool.
it's been, man, it's kind of crazy. This year is going to be a little bit full of animals,
Oh yeah,
right? We're going to have to
yeah.
bring ours more this
Well,
year.
especially now. We
Yeah,
got two new puppy dogs.
Those are awesome, man. I'm so happy for you guys.
Me
though.
too. No, I am. They're sweet dogs. They are.
Yeah, man.
It makes everybody happy. So
Yeah,
that's
that
the main
definitely
thing.
does. It's just crazy, man, how
Yeah.
far we've come. And
Yeah.
you know, if you could, like with losing your dad, like
Mhm.
what are some things maybe you struggle with, and then that maybe you could pass on to somebody to try to get through it, or are you over? You're not that you're over
No,
it, but
yeah,
how
no,
did
yeah.
you work through it?
Well, I mean, first thing I would say is don't wait till later, because that's always been a big thing. Because I mean, he and I, not that we were never close, but again, he worked all the time. When we were together, we always got along good, had good conversations. But of course, he was the type of dad that didn't go into detail about his younger past, like the things he did, which would have been cool stories to know now.
Right.
He just started getting to where he was like, oh yeah, when I was in college, I did this, and like Percy Priest Dam,
Yeah,
he's jumped off both sides of that dam.
that's really high.
Which is insane because you see on the one side there's that cement wall,
yeah, dude.
and back then they kept the water level higher, so they didn't know that wall
Jeez.
was there.
That's crazy. That's
So
insane.
of course, when he told me that, I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then at his funeral or his celebration of life, a couple of his college buddies, they were telling stories, and one of them mentioned it, and I was like, that was real. He was like, your daddy was wild.
Dude, he was a
He said
wrestler?
yeah,
He was a
wrestled,
football player?
football, but yeah, he was definitely a jock.
Dude, that's crazy.
They
Like,
called him Cabbage Head Fred.
even seeing the mayor of Mount Juliet at that time, or was it the mayor or the police chief?
Yes.
Police chief. I was
yeah.
like, dude, there's so many people here.
Yeah.
But your dad was
Yeah,
so
he
cool.
was definitely well known. But yeah, I mean, that would be the first thing I would say is don't live in the moment now. Don't say, oh yeah, we'll go on that trip later on, or yeah, I'll call my dad later on. I'm busy. Like, do it now.
I
Don't wait.
agree. I agree, man. The older I get and the more situations I face dealing with loss, it's that, money's not everything.
Right.
Don't put yourself in a financial burden.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
But
be smart about it.
Experience life
Yeah.
with everybody that you love, because our days are numbered.
Yeah.
All of ours.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like I tell everybody, keep your priorities straight. Like, obviously, again, the way I was raised is obviously we try to keep good credit. We try to stay where we're not in debt up to our eyeballs. Not that I've always been that way. But as I get older, I realize, again, money is important because you have to have money to pay bills and to survive.
Yep.
But you can make memories without money.
100%.
It just, all that money's doing is helping you to get more memories and maybe some cooler memories.
Yeah, man.
So-
I'm realizing the same thing after the loss of what I'm doing with my brother. Like, everything's different, man.
Yeah.
You lose somebody close to you and life just kind of slaps you in the face.
Yeah.
And
Well,
everything's different.
I can't compare what you had to go through with him, how you lost him, especially as young as he was, and the circumstances. But like losing my dad, and he was still young. And of course, the bad thing was too. That's why, again, I say live in the now. Is he was the type work, save, and he had literally, same as his dad, talked for probably up till maybe 6 months before either one of them passed. They had just started saying, "Oh, I'm going to retire soon. I'm going to start living." I mean, my dad wasn't a big traveler, didn't care about vacations,
Man.
but he had said he was going to start taking off work more and start enjoying life. And same thing, work, save, and then you die with a bunch of money.
I found myself doing the same thing, like even with my job and
Right.
the things like with retirement. It's like, you're lucky if you get there.
Oh yeah,
Most of us, you can get on the
And
road, you get run over.
Obviously, you got to plan. You got to plan for the worst, hope for the best.
Exactly.
So I mean, if I do end up living till 90, don't know how I'll probably be able to afford it, but you know what? God will provide. He always does.
Yeah.
He'll make
Amen,
a way.
brother.
So
Amen.
and again, I don't. I try to make it where it's. I don't want to put money first because a lot of people that's their goal is I got to work more so I can make more money.
Yep.
And again, the money does help with things, but it's not gonna make you happy. I know plenty of
doesn't.
people that got tons of money that ain't happy.
They're not, man.
I wouldn't give up what I got for nothing. I'd spend every penny on my kids if it meant making them happy or keeping them alive or whatever the case may be.
Yep.
That's when money comes in handy. But other than that,
Dude.
it's just material possessions.
Yeah, seeing my brother pass, like, dude, he valued. I mean, I'm guilty of it too. I like things.
Yeah.
Right. But my brother valued so many things.
Right.
Right. So when he passed with the clothes on his back, and then they take those clothes off.
Right.
He didn't have anything.
Yeah.
That's. So many people put so much value into things,
Oh, yeah.
and they take away from life.
Yeah.
They take away from kids. They
Yeah.
take away from wives or
Yeah.
other spouses.
Yeah.
It's just the older I get, I realize like none of it matters, dude.
Mhm.
It does an extent in being comfortable and providing, but
Well, I know you've probably read it before. I don't remember exact verbatim what it said, but basically it's saying when like 100 years from now, everything that you currently own, all the people that you currently know, all that's going to be
gone,
gone. Your house, this house, more than likely, unless your kids get it and their kids, more than likely this house is going to have somebody totally different living in it, not even affiliated with your family.
different story.
More than likely.
Yep.
Same thing with all the cars, all the money, all that stuff within that bubble is all material things that don't matter.
The way, like, the thought that's been on my mind recently is there's a movie I used to watch as a kid. It's called Something Borrowed. It's like, but what I mean by that is this is borrowed.
Yeah.
This
yeah.
isn't forever.
Yeah.
Every comfort we have, every moment we have with our kids, our families, it's valuable.
Yeah.
But everything is temporary.
Oh, yeah.
We have to get right.
Yeah.
We got to get right with God, and there's so many people out there that aren't.
Yeah.
I'm not perfect.
Well,
We're not,
Yeah,
but-
absolutely.
I just hope people can more or less lean on God and friendship and brotherhood. Just like,
Right.
I'm so blessed to have you in my life.
Yeah, you as
I
well.
hope you know
man.
that,
Yeah,
man. I
absolutely. Absolutely. You as well.
I can't believe like 13 years, bro, and we're sitting here.
That's God's crazy 13 years.
You're my best friend, dude.
Yeah, you as well, bro.
It's just been a crazy ride, and through, I don't know if you really want to discuss much, but through trials and tribulations, I met my wife,
Mhm.
and that's a blessing,
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
So
Yeah,
I'm just thankful for you. I'm thankful for Heather
yeah,
because if it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't have met my
yeah.
wife,
That's dude, that's why I say God's got a plan no matter good, bad, ugly. You may not see it at that point, but as you look back, no matter what the circumstance was,
Yep,
not that it's like, "Oh, okay, now I see why it at some point is gonna be like a light bulb, like, that's why that happened."
exactly.
I mean, dude, years ago, I used to job hop every 3 to 6 months,
Did the same.
but probably more than that, honestly, and of course, flying by the seat of my pants, like I said earlier, like I've always done. And as I got older, and of course, Heather and I, we got engaged. I think we actually, at this point, we're married. Started thinking more like, I guess, what you're supposed to think of as an adult. Like, hey, I gotta figure something out as a career, not just a job. I got a family to support, and of course, I would do my best to try to get a job that I thought was it. And then
It wasn't
either
it.
I'd get bored with it, or something would happen, or I would try to work the system to make it where I didn't have to work so hard, but make just as much money, and
Yep.
end up getting fired.
Yeah.
And again, when those things would happen, I would be like, "Oh my gosh!" Like when I tried to get on with airport police.
Yep.
Long story with that, but ended up basically getting the job. But when they did the background check, had a suspended license. Long story, clerical error, wasn't my fault.
Speedy.
Yeah, of course. But once they figured that out, we got it all straightened out.
I
They said,
love
"Well,
it.
hey, we can't hire you because when you applied for the job,
You didn't put it on there.
well, because." They said the insurance wouldn't cover me because I had a suspended license. And even though I
No,
didn't know about it, it wasn't my fault.
that's
And
stupid.
at that time, dude, I mean, it was like heartbreaking. I was like, "Oh my gosh, what the heck? What am I gonna do? This was gonna be my career." And now I look back like, thank God that didn't work out. Not
Well,
not nothing against those guys, but like I
I'm on the
just
same boat. When I went to school, when I got here, I moved from Michigan. I came down here. My mom was like, "If you want to go to college," I came down here and lived on my own. Like I
right,
lived with my cousin for a little while. But I put myself through college. Mom said, "If you want to go," mom and dad, they couldn't afford it for me.
right,
So I was like, well, I'm a man
yeah,
and I want to make everybody proud and I want to make myself proud. I put myself in school.
hmm,
I got an associate's degree in criminal justice to be a
nice,
police officer.
yep, yep,
I applied to multiple police departments. They wouldn't accept accreditation. Um, Went to Metro.
hmm,
I did the physical test, the physical agility test, um, and then did the written test, passed.
yeah,
And then they did a panel interview. I
gotcha,
failed the panel interview.
okay,
It was like, it was more or less a test. It
right,
wasn't like, I used to work downtown at bars and I'd like, okay, what'd you do on this situation where you had to like make a decision at the last second?
right,
And I just popped off. Like
yeah,
I almost got kicked in the face and I had to tase a guy.
right.
So
They're like,
I said, yeah,
denied,
they did, dude. And as
denied.
soon as I said it, I was like, oh, dude.
You're like,
Yeah, but I could have reapplied and made it, but
yeah,
it was like I was so nervous.
yeah,
There was like all the police chiefs, the head of police on Metro
yeah.
Nashville, but seeing with all the police, I'm so grateful for them.
I'll do,
It
yeah,
takes a certain
yeah,
kind of person to be a police officer, but
especially in today's time. Yeah,
exactly. So I'm so thankful for who we have, but at that time I wasn't ready.
yeah,
So I wanted to be a police officer for so many years, but like I'm where I'm at for a reason,
yeah,
with
yeah,
UPS,
right,
you know.
yeah. And I remember when you got that job too.
Dude,
Again, it's crazy how things work
dude, I
out.
used
Like
to go there like
when you
just
would think nothing of it.
super tired. We'd go hang out and then I'd go to work, a
Yep,
couple hours in the morning.
yep,
And, I had my flooring company. So it's not that I needed the money, but it,
right,
it turned into benefits. And I was like, y'all make how much?
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it's a good job.
yeah.
It's a good job with good benefits. It's just,
Long term, especially. I mean, that's the thing is like even if you could make more money somewhere else, like you said, long term, like the benefits and the insurance and all those things those are the things that it's like at least you have that guaranteed versus owning your own business. Yes, it's a little bit more freedom ish, but it comes with its headaches too. So I mean, everything it's
I'll
rest.
say like the only thing dealing with like union work and stuff like that is you deal with a lot of politics,
Right.
man. You deal with corporate
Oh yeah,
America.
yeah,
And this company, it's like it's a great company, but they're doing all these different cuts and stuff, so everybody's got to worry about their jobs.
right.
It's not just my business at where I'm at.
Yeah.
It's across the country.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Them corporate greed, it's
mhm,
real.
yeah.
So they're trying to, it puts a little fear into me.
Oh yeah,
It does because they could come through any day and say we're closing your center,
yeah.
and then I'm not gonna sit around.
Right.
I'm gonna do what I got to do, just like
Well,
you.
absolutely, yeah. You're not a quitter. You ain't gonna lay down and say, "Okay, I got fired. What am I gonna do now?" You
No,
figure it out,
man.
and it would be part of the plan if that happened. But
100%.
yeah,
I mean, even with that, like, with how Mary and I got together and, everything worked out the way it was supposed to.
mhm,
It's pretty incredible how everything worked out.
yeah,
But man, it's crazy.
yeah,
Like everything, even this, like this podcast,
Mhm.
right? The Prevent podcast.
Yeah.
I'm proud of it.
Yeah, you should
You know,
be.
I put passion into it
Yeah,
because there's so many other things to lean into.
yeah.
There's so in my family, on my mom's side,
Mhm.
like my grandparents and stuff, like they had problems with alcohol.
Right.
Um, my father's side dealt with other things as well. Like
Mhm.
my dad, I'm not trying to talk bad about
No,
my
no, no,
father,
yeah,
but he 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 went to prison for like 10 or 11 years when I was a kid.
Mhm.
So with dealing drugs
Right.
and other things, but and several other members of the family, and even on my mom's side, people went to jail. My uncle went to jail. You know, we've always dealt with different things, and
Right.
I'm not better than them,
Right.
but I'm just more productive.
Yeah.
Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
no, absolutely.
Like I'm so proud of my mom. I'm so proud of my dad. Like they worked so hard, but I was the fourth kid at my mom. With my mom had me at 21, and I was the fourth child.
Goodness
Thank
gracious.
God we had my stepdad.
Yeah.
My dad.
Yeah.
I don't even like the stepdad. The step thing doesn't exist.
Right.
My dad took care of us,
Yeah.
man. He, you know, he came in. I was 2 years old,
Yeah.
and they took care of us, and they handled business. They still live in the same house. You know,
Yeah.
I'm so thankful for my parents.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and there's something I want to discuss too. Is like with losing my brother, bro. It's been unreal.
Mhm.
Like, I'm not trying to make it sappy. I'm not trying to make it like all about me in this podcast because it's not. I want to help other people. But my mom was here, dude, and I was like, at times I felt like a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Through
Of
that
course.
week before the funeral, like I was handling everything.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if I had to do it, but I think it like I wanted to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So with my mom, I had a night to where I was like just frantic, bro. Just
Mhm.
frantic. And like my mom came out in the living room. I was like, Mom, like I just came up here and laid next to Mom. Like,
Mhm.
and it didn't take till after the funeral, after everybody left. My mom left, my dad left, the family left.
Mhm.
I was at my aunt's house down the street and I took her home. Sorry, I'm a little parched.
You good.
She had a picture of my mom.
Mhm.
Funeral's done, everybody's gone home, you know, the dust settling, and that's when things really hit you.
Oh, yeah.
So I take my aunt home. I see this picture of my mom. And when I looked at it, everything was like flooded me. It
Mhm.
hit me because I was like, not one time while my mom was here did I stop and ask her if she was okay.
Yeah, I remember we talked about this, yeah.
Bro, I called her as soon as I left my
Saying, "Are you
aunt's and I was in
okay?"
tears. And Mom, I am so sorry.
Yeah.
You know, I am so sorry, but I have not asked you, are you okay?
Mhm.
Like, dude, it's, you know, I lost a brother, I lost a best friend, I lost a protector, I lost a lot.
Yeah,
Like,
I was
like
gonna say it's
I lost me,
I was gonna say you lost part of you. Yeah, absolutely.
you know. You know, 3 kids lost their dad, a wife lost her husband,
Yeah.
you know, this so much energy, dude,
Mhm.
just so much positive energy. And with my mom, I was like, dude, like,
Didn't even think about it.
no.
Yeah.
I felt terrible.
Yeah.
She's like, you know, you're the first one that asked me.
Yeah.
But I don't even care about that. I just
Right.
want to know, are you okay? Because
Right.
she lives out of state. I
Yeah.
can't be there.
Right.
But dude, it's just dealing with suicide. Everybody goes through trials and tribulations.
Right.
People get sick. Children get sick. People deal with different things. But dealing with a suicide with a healthy individual that had never been more healthy,
Right.
more fit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He could not work out his problems, bro.
Mhm.
And to me, it speaks volume.
Yeah.
Like it's the silent battles that people aren't experiencing.
Yeah.
You know, there's many times I could just give up. You
Right.
know, I don't want to say this in any offense, but giving up in the way that he did
Mhm.
was crazy. You know, it wasn't him.
Right.
It definitely was not. But he had that head injury. So
Mhm.
like, I know that was it.
Right.
You know, there's nothing we can legally do, whatever, nothing like that. But like, that wasn't
Yeah.
not him. And we went to a funeral, my uncle's funeral. An uncle passed this past year, well, the year before.
Mhm.
And we, my brother Chris and John and I, my 3 brothers,
Mhm.
we went up to Detroit and, you know, we all stayed at a hotel. And my brother Chris and I stayed together the whole time. John drove his truck, like we both trailed each other up there, just
Right.
cutting up the whole time. And while we were up there, my brother Chris and I was just like, there's something off.
Yeah.
Like that we said it to each
Mhm.
other. Like there's something with John. He's cold.
Yeah.
Like he was standing there like, yeah. No, like you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
there's
Not
no
like how he
emotion.
used to be,
No,
yeah.
yeah, no, dude. Like no emotion. So when we were up there, he was cool. Like, dude, at the funeral, we didn't see the Garcia side.
Mhm.
Like, I'm a Garcia, but the Garcia side, my father's side, we're not that close to. It's no one's fault, I guess. You know, my father does what he does. You know, no harm, no foul to him. And
Right.
I'd honestly like to sit and have a conversation with
Yeah.
him as a man. You know,
Yeah.
I'm a grown man now. But my brother then was different.
Yeah.
I just didn't put two and two together. Are you okay?
Right.
You know, like what's going on?
Yeah.
I wished I'd done it. I don't beat myself up. Like, what could I have done? There's nothing I could have
Right.
done.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many people like, don't beat yourself up. Like, I'm not doing that.
Right.
I just wish like I had read the room a little better. You know, he
Well, and
slept in a
that's
bed
why
next to me.
yeah. That's why
Like,
they say hindsight's 20/20. I mean, that's same thing with my dad. It's not that we didn't have a good relationship, same as what you're saying, but there's things that I think, man, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have said this. Like last time I saw him, like where he was standing when we dropped him at the hospital. Of course, he was like drunkish because
it wasn't. It was.
well, because he was lacking oxygen. So
Yeah.
that's how we figured out like, hey, he needs to get to the hospital. So when we got there, I followed I think my stepmom brought him. Met her there right outside the doors, and as soon as he was going in, I instead of like hugging him, I did like the little manly like sidearm, "Love you, Dad. I'll see you in a little bit. Get better." And that's the last time I actually got to like hug him. So of course that's what same thing. I don't beat myself up over it, but I still think, man,
dude, that last weekend that I saw my brother, I went and bought that TV, and
yeah,
Mary's like, please call him. I'm
hmm
like, I don't want to call him. Like, I can do this. Like,
right,
no, the hell I couldn't.
yeah, right.
Dude, it was too big, and
End up
in
having
my
a broken
lineup, bro. You
TV.
know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I got
yeah,
this. I got
yeah,
this. But no, I called him, bro. He showed up in like 15 minutes. And Mary even said, was like, how do you get here so fast?
yeah,
Like, later on.
right,
So after that, we went to his house and hung out. But when he got here, bro, you know, we do the dap.
yeah,
And his hands were so calloused.
hmm
I never felt that before. Like, dude, his hands were so calloused. I'm
yeah,
talking like I'll never forget
like a
that.
bricklayer's hands.
Dude,
Yeah,
I'll never forget it because they've never been that rough.
yeah,
But he'd been lifting so much.
yeah,
Like, dude, he's trying to out push it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
He's just trying to, he just couldn't do it.
yeah,
And with us going to his house like that night, because after he came to the TV, we went and did that Grinch party. And I sat and hung out with him. And I have a picture. Well, I don't have it with me, but Terrence got it. I have this picture. He bought this expensive camera, and he's like, take a picture as I was sleep behind me.
oh yeah,
Dude, I have those pictures, and I will post them soon. But, like, I had no idea.
Yeah.
And he even told me, he's like, man, I've slept down here the last few nights. What's going on? Like,
yeah,
he's like, I just can't sleep.
right,
But there's times like I can't sleep in
yeah,
the
yeah,
bed or
right,
whenever, you know, I'll get up, walk around, and do
yeah,
something until I can go to sleep. But like, never in a million years,
would you have expected? Yeah,
them, the family,
yeah,
the kids, like,
yeah,
could you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I had a friend of mine reach out to another friend and said, bro, you need to check on Manny
yeah,
because he looks depressed.
right,
I'm depressed.
yeah, rightfully so.
I am depressed because
Mhm.
I've lost one of the most important things to me.
Right.
I lost a part of me.
Yeah.
I lost that person that I could call at any given moment and say, hey, I'm here. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And I don't know what to do with that.
Right.
But with being depressed, I'm transforming it. And this right here
Yeah.
is helping so much.
Yeah.
Because the thing most people don't realize is we can all relate. In some way, shape, form, or fashion. Bro, this life is temporary, and I just want to ride it with everybody that I
Yeah.
know and I love.
Yep.
You know? And it's just, I'm depressed because I have to look at John's beautiful wife and kids,
Mhm.
and I have to be there.
Right.
And that's not why I'm depressed, but like, I will never leave them.
Right.
I will never leave my family.
Mhm.
But it's like, you know, my game in life has just one-upped.
Right.
Because Like a friend of my best friend Harry, he told me, he's like, dude, like you did so. I didn't realize how much I was doing in that, in that first, explosion,
Right.
more or less is what I would call it. But um, life hit like 50 years in a matter of a day.
Yeah.
I'm depressed, but I'm using it
Right.
in the best
I like
possible
the
way I
logo, by the
can,
way.
dude. Yeah, I
It's
mean,
nice.
this is passion for
Yeah.
me. This
Absolutely.
isn't just a thing.
Every pain has a purpose,
Yeah,
whatever
absolutely.
it may be. And again, you may not still know it right now, but everything's got a purpose, whatever it may be.
I agree,
Yeah.
bro. And doing this, it's helping me. It's helping me. It's keeping me focused on more of a positive aspect. I would never do what my brother did.
Right. Yeah.
But I know for a fact it was not him.
Right.
And there's no way I can prove anything. There's no way I can fix it.
Right.
I think I've more or less been a fixer most of my life,
Most of us men are.
Exactly, dude.
That's why we argue with our women, because when they talk to us, they don't want us to fix it. They just want you to shut up and listen.
That's why I was killing so
Yeah.
well. Sorry, they're
What
out for you.
Yeah. What is it they say? There's a saying, and I can't think of it. Listen to comprehend, not to respond. I learned that in therapy.
Yeah.
And of course, that was one of those, like, as soon as she said it, I was like, holy cow.
Dude,
I have always listened to be like, okay, I hear your problem. Here's how we can try to fix it. And your fix may not be my fix, and vice versa. So
100%, dude.
that's why some people, same as doing the podcast, some people just, you need to, number one, get it out. Number two, have somebody else that's able to just throw it back and forth with you. So
Yeah, dude. It's crazy because I should have gone to therapy a long time ago.
right.
That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
But it's, we look at it as a weakness.
Yeah.
Even through marriage, through your personal life, you should do it.
Yeah.
It's a
Ab-
outside perspective
absolutely.
that doesn't know you, can hear you. Neither one of you are
It's a
right.
non-biased opinion.
You know what the most right thing is that I'm finding out
What's that?
is that y'all are willing to work it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so many people today that are just giving up.
Yeah.
There's so many. It's easier to get divorced than it is to work out your problem. But guess what?
Absolutely.
You can't work out somebody, like if you're married, you don't work that out. Guess you got a whole nother thing to try to work out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Even if you said, I'm going to stay single the rest of my life, it still ain't going to be. It ain't going to be what you think it's going to be. There's always still going to be problems whichever way you go. The grass ain't greener on the other side.
And another thing is, like, people don't think about long term.
Yeah.
Right. So at some point, you're going to need your kids.
Yep.
You're going to need your grandkids to help come take care of you.
I've
Right.
been changing my diapers. They
Yeah,
better
dude.
be.
Yeah, that's how dude, I mess with Amelia all the time. Like, bro, like, I mess with Amelia. Like, you got to wipe my butt one day.
Uh-huh.
Like, no,
Right.
she wouldn't, but.
Hopefully not, but she better be there if she got to be.
Dude, I wiped all them doo-doo diapers. You going to be one.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy, man. It's just, this life is so rapid fire,
Yeah.
It's great, it's hard, but I wouldn't change it for anything.
No.
You know,
Absolutely.
I could wish all day that I, could change what my brother did, or, what happened to your dad,
Of course.
I wish I could take most people's problems, like, and just take it all,
Right.
but I can't.
Yep.
But working through it, getting therapy, most battles are silent with men.
Oh yeah. Well, especially old school men, or like, I guess you'd say typical men, the way that my grandfather and my dad were, especially my grandfather. God rest his soul as well.
Do you want to name them?
Oh yeah. Went by Don Davis. I called him Granddaddy.
That's crazy.
But yeah, he was a go-getter. He was I think a VP of Lowe's. Was in sales his whole life pretty much. Started Tulip Grove Baptist Church out in Hermitage.
That's awesome.
So again, same as my dad, everybody knew him. They loved him, said he was a great guy. From what I knew of him, I forget how old I was when he passed, probably maybe 11 to 13, I guess. And like I said before, I can't remember if he was 62 and my dad was 63 or vice versa. But my grandfather passed away in his sleep from a heart attack. So same thing. He work, save. And then as soon as he started talking like, hey, I think he was actually talking about wanting to travel.
Yep.
And that's what I tried to tell my dad then, like, hey, this is why, because my dad used to always have a saying that he said to me, save your money, save your money. And again, not that I'm against saving money. I don't mean it like that, but I'm going to spend a lot and I'm going to save a little.
You know what? There was something I heard. It's fun. I'm not trying to plug anybody, but Joe Rogan, I listen to him
Oh, yeah,
viciously, bro.
yeah,
I listen to all these podcasts just to
yeah,
learn, and he says it's fun coupons.
yeah,
Most people learn
yeah,
to get FU money,
right,
like so you can experience your life, you can
yeah,
do the things you want, but this is it's up to you to do that.
yeah,
It's up to you to get
right,
that stuff,
yeah,
and but with your granddaddy, with your
mhm,
dad, and with you,
mhm,
you guys are all successful in so many ways.
right,
With people,
yeah.
you're very good with
Oh,
people.
yeah,
You've
no,
always been,
yeah,
dude.
yeah, luckily, if I wasn't as good of a talker as I am, I don't know what I would have done work-wise 'cause I think that's what got me by in all of my jobs is I've always been okay with talking to people and getting up acting a fool. Public speaking, still working on that.
Yeah, we all are,
If
bro.
I have to get in front of a crowd trying to be serious, I get the butterflies to where I'm like, I could still get through it, but I get nervous.
It's natural. It's
Versus if
a
I get up there and I'm acting stupid and I'm off flying off the seat of my pants, not like, "Hey, this is a script, you have to say exactly this." That's when I get nervous versus if you're like, "Hey, man, just get up here and have a good time." I can do that.
That's what we're
I can
doing
have a
right
good
now,
time,
bro.
yeah.
I thought
Yeah,
about this because I've never done it,
right.
right? Clearly, but like I thought about like you don't want a script.
Yeah. No, yeah, something like
If
this, especially not this, you want it to be more where it's
it's personal,
yeah, yeah,
there's no one that knows your story but you.
right.
So
Yeah.
I'm really I enjoy this, man.
Yeah, but back I was ADD, sorry. What I was trying to say with my grandfather and my dad, they were like the typical man's man, like, "We don't cry, we're tough. We don't let the women see us cry." That's how I was pretty much raised. And not I can see one side of that, but, I mean, the way I've raised our kids, and especially my son, I tell him all the time, I'm like, "Hey, it's not bad to cry. Like, it's okay to cry. Now don't be a pansy. Don't, like, cry about everything, but absolutely, it is okay to cry. It doesn't make you less of a man. Doesn't matter if it's for whatever the reason is you're crying. Like
Yeah,
everybody has emotions, everybody has feelings. I don't judge nobody for crying. I don't care how big because I won't mention name, but I've had plenty of friends that are big old jacked up dudes, and I've seen them bawl like little babies, and I'm like, man, everybody thinks you are so tough, and
well,
you're a little teddy bear.
can I point just my opinion,
Yeah,
right? You've been led by successful strong men,
yeah,
right? My dad and my mom were in their 20s.
right,
They didn't have they did, but they didn't have the, the foundation. They did from certain people.
right,
You kind of grab things as you go and you learn, but like a stable parenthood,
right,
right?
or a positive
A
influence of some
positive
sort. Yeah,
influence, right?
yeah,
Like mom's story's different, dad's story's different.
right,
That's for them to share.
yeah,
But like they didn't have, and I've even explained to my mom, like you didn't have that person to tell you have that self worth.
yeah,
You wish you could go back in time and do that.
right,
And even my mom and dad, they worked so much. I didn't have that.
yeah,
I was kind of taught to go, you're going to do what you're going to do your thing,
right,
but we'd rather you be safe and be home and
yeah,
hang out with people or whatever.
right,
But I'm so thankful for the life they let me. I was the youngest of four. They went through enough with the three,
right.
you know. So with me, they were a little bit more lenient.
Oh,
Not that I
yeah,
was the hell bent child,
right.
but I was more of the social butterfly.
Yeah.
The person to get the odds and ends throughout the neighborhood, bring them to the house, and give them a safe space.
Right.
Always,
Yeah.
dude. Even when I moved here,
Mhm.
I had a friend of mine live at my parents' house,
Right.
and they helped him. He wound up going to the Navy and like establishing. He's been in the Navy ever since.
Nice, that's awesome.
So it's like I've always just enjoyed being around people.
Right.
But dude, just having that foundation, a solid mom, solid dad says
Yeah.
a lot.
Oh, yeah. No, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's definitely for sure.
It's just crazy, how many people out here just don't have anybody.
Yeah. Well, it explains a lot too with the way the world's becoming. It's when you see backgrounds and how they were raised, and not to say that it always matters. You can lead a horse to water, you can't make them drink. So I've seen kids that were brought up in great homes, great mom and dad. From at least from what it looks like the outside in, doesn't always mean that's what it is. But from what our perspective, it's always looked like, well, man, they got it made. Their mom and dad got good jobs, they got money, they got a nice car, all these like material things. And then you see those people fall flat on their face and end up in and out of rehab and whatever else. And
I've seen
again,
it.
not that I judge those people. I've had friends like that. I've had family like that. And everybody has got some kind of skeletons.
Dude,
Everybody's got stuff they're dealing with.
I've seen so much. And I've had somebody ask me before, have you ever been to a funeral?
Mhm.
Truth is, through living in Detroit, I've been to more, since a kid, I've been to more suicide, OD'd, self-inflicted harm.
Mhm.
Same, like, it's all relatable. I've
Yeah.
been to more funerals like that with young people than I have older people.
Yeah.
So, like, when I got that question, I was like, I was upset at the funeral. I was like, "Man, I've been to, like, it made me think, like, I've been to a lot. And it's been more or less not through people having full lives or like a tragedy of like an accident. It's been more or less like self-inflicted.
Right.
Tired, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I was gonna say, I mean, I've been to at least a handful of people, like friends ODing, and I mean, some of them like high school buddies. That.
Bro, every other time I go to Michigan now,
Mhm.
it's been due to a funeral. I've had a buddy that got sick, and it took him pretty quick. But he had a young son, Gary Eckert. He's a very good friend of mine, and I hope his sister's watching because she's a really good, really nice person. Um, but me and him used to cut up all the time, and he wound up passing of a sickness.
Mhm.
But he left behind a young son, and that, like, to me, I was like, man, like,
Mhm.
But all these young guys, like, up there is different. It's more blue collar work,
Right.
It's even with my dad, like he's still blue collar, but that's there's certain people, most people up there work that,
Yeah.
and you see the effects of blue collar workers' kids
Mm.
because they have to be at work.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a product of it.
Yeah.
But just like you, I'm trying to break that mold.
Right.
I work blue collar, but doing stuff that scares the crap out of me, even this, but it's something new, but I feel like it's productive.
Yeah.
It's productive because it can help somebody. I really hope it helps somebody just think about what they're doing.
Yeah. I'm sure it will. I mean, that's why I said you never know that whether it's you sharing it or somebody else that's watching that shares it with one of their friends, so on and so
And
on.
how they can relate.
And it could be one little quote or sentence that you've said in this entire podcast that might be like, huh, and make somebody think.
It's just silent battles. It's just like you said, though.
Mhm.
You're the tough guy. You can't cry.
Yep.
But dude, it's like if you bottle it up, most of the time,
Mhm.
it's going to compartmentalize until it explodes.
Oh yeah.
And
It's snowball. Yeah.
it may take years.
Yeah.
But if you don't face your losses and your
Mhm.
struggles, some way, shape, form, or fashion, it's going to come back.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
It's going to come back.
Absolutely.
So that's why I'm trying to face it head on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And having uncomfortable conversation. It's
Right.
vulnerable. This,
No, yeah.
we
Absolutely.
don't get
Absolutely.
anything out of it. Like, this is a man to man,
Right.
it's amazing to me,
Yeah.
It's therapeutic, it's counseling, it's all those things in one. But with this podcast, I really hope to build a community,
Yep. Absolutely.
a community of people that like to talk and that can be there for one another.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely, man. Yeah, most definitely.
you want to take a break?
Yeah, we
I
can.
wanna
Whatever
take a
you want to
break.
do. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, buddy. Got to good times.
Welcome back. So that trip to Turkey was definitely a success.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I said, I would definitely do it again.
You would
the
go
flight.
back?
The flight was not fun, but it was bearable.
What'd you guys fly on?
Flying from Nashville to O'Hare was United, and then from there was Turkish Airlines.
How's that?
On the way there sucked. We just had. It's not the cheapest seats, but cheaper seats.
Right.
So we get in there, and I sat all the way on next to the window. Heather was in the middle, and then some random guy next to her. The bad thing is our carry-on backpacks wouldn't fit under the seat in front or behind us, so I pretty much had to like have it under me
Right.
and have my feet up, which is fine for like 2 or 3 hour riding. But I think that flight there with the layover was like 10.
Where do they lay over?
Well, from O'Hare. From
Oh,
O'Hare
okay.
to Turkey was, I think, 10 or 11 hours.
Holy
Coming
crap.
back, I think it was like 11 and a half, 12 hours, maybe a little bit longer coming back for some reason.
That's great.
But yeah,
due to
so
the
after
wind.
that, and I've never seen this on a plane, especially a bigger plane like that. Normally they have like the fans. I'll move my hand again.
Yeah.
They have the fans up above
Yep.
you. I went to adjust the air, no fans. And I get,
Oh, yeah. You
I
told
get
me you were going to
hot.
tell me about that.
So, dude, I'm sitting there. I mean, I've got like sweat stains in my pits, and I'm looking at Heather, and she's hot, which is rare. She don't get hot usually.
Yeah.
So after all that, man, we then on the way home, I think actually during that flight, she was like, "We're upgrading for on the way home," and we didn't go first class because
Yeah.
that's like double the price. But
Yep.
we ended up you can get ones like we ended up doing the ones where there's a wall in front of you, so you got more leg room, and you can like put your foot up on the wall, or if you want to stand up, you're not having to like inconvenience
Yeah.
everybody. That was a lot better. I say that. Heather got set on the plane on the way back next to literally the biggest guy on the airplane, and I don't mean.
Did he take the?
Oh, dude, he was like this. He was probably 6'5". I'm gonna say 350 to 400 at least. So when we first got there, he was in the middle. I was on one side, she was on the other. So I was
Like, bro, did you ask
no,
him?
oh yeah. As soon as we got there, like, and I realized that was his assigned seat. I was like, hey man, her and I are together. So if you want, you can pick one side or the other. And of course, I mean, being a big guy myself, I want an aisle seat,
Right.
or a window seat. I don't want to be
Right.
stuck in the middle like this, like a sardine, especially
Right.
for 11 hours. So he ended up sitting on the outside next to her. She was in the middle. I was on the outside aisle. And of course, this was after my hair surgery. And then you're not supposed to like hit it with anything. You're like super sensitive. So I'm in the aisle, people walking by. So anytime somebody came by, I'm like paranoid, like ducking like this. Somebody's like trying to get their bag over my head and I'm ducking. So after all that, about 2 hours into the flight, I'm thinking, man, this is so much more comfortable. I got leg room. I can breathe. I got it on this flight. We had the fan where I
Yep.
could have it on my face. I look over and Heather's like just stone cold mad. And I was like, what's wrong? Nothing. I was like, babe, this flight is going to be 11 hours. What's going on? We got to fix this.
Yeah.
And she like turned and looked, and this guy's like over both sides. And she's like turned into me, and I can't lean in the aisle. So I'm kind of like leaned towards her. So she's literally like this. And I was like, look, we got to fix this. So
Yep.
I nudged, the guy was asleep. So I nudged him, or she nudged him, whatever, woke him up. Finally he realized and like tried to hold it in, but he was still like
Dang.
on her. But I ended up giving her my backpack to put underneath her feet where she could put her feet up, and she was able to get more comfortable.
That's
luckily, yeah, it was a long flight.
Oh,
Which
man.
sad part is that's not even close to a long flight compared to some flights.
It's crazy.
So-
Like I've been to, I think San Francisco, I think was the longest flight I've been down to.
Yeah,
And it was like, I don't know, 5 hours,
Yeah.
something like that, 4 or 5 hours.
that's still a long flight.
Yeah. It was awesome though.
Yeah.
That San Francisco trip.
Yeah.
That was before COVID, before it went to shambles.
Oh yeah,
Dude.
yeah.
I want to go there. I would love to go to San Francisco and document it.
Yeah.
Like, because when I went last time, I had a bunch of photos and stuff, but like, it wasn't nearly as bad as it is now.
Yeah, I've got
think-
family in San Diego.
Do you really?
Mhm.
I think I actually do too, that I've never met. Like, I did the ancestry.com thing,
Okay,
and I've had my grandmother's first cousin reach out to me. Dude, she sent me photos of my grandma
that's
and
crazy.
like my great grandparents.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. Like,
That's
she's
cool.
like,
I
hey,
thought
are
about-
you?
I thought about doing the ancestry or whatever the other. It's like a bunch of them now. I thought about doing it, but
It's
I-
different.
yeah.
I'm a mutt.
Yeah.
I am a mutt.
Yeah.
I'm like
I think most of
30
us
different
are.
things. Yeah, dude. I'm like, I'm North African, Cameroon. I'm not even kidding. Like, dude, I'm like 15 things.
That's crazy.
Parents are some.
I think from what I remember, I may be wrong. I
Crazies.
think I'm Cherokee, German.
Are you Cherokee to a tribe?
I don't know. I'm
You
not
might
gonna,
need to look into
yeah, I was
that.
gonna say I'm not gonna say. Oh,
Yeah.
that's true. I could be getting some benefits.
Or your kids could be getting some schooling.
I might have just made all that up, but I'm
Kinda
pretty sure.
some-
I'm pretty sure that's what I've been told. But
Yeah, man.
it might have been a dream. I don't know. That's the bad thing with me. I'm like, did that really?
You know, I was hoping when I interviewed with Joe, I was like, please don't mention the guys trip. Because he was making fun of me on the guys trip. I was like, well, it wasn't necessarily he was making fun of me. It was so funny because he was like, I was telling him that hymns, like, dude, there's certain hymns at church. We don't use instruments and
Right.
everything like that in Church of Christ.
Yeah.
So it's like there's certain hymns, dude.
Mhm.
The instruments are people, right? So when they sing certain things, it's like it hits you.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And with Joe, I was telling him this, he was just laughing at me. It's like, dude.
Yeah. No, they do say that supposedly it's like a proven study that some people connect better with talking. Some people connect better with like physical touch. Some people connect better with music. It's funny. I think this last week I was asking Adeline what she felt like her outs was or her escape.
Right.
And she said that she felt like it was music. And I was like, that's me.
That's me.
Yeah. Cause I mean, same thing. Like I've been in church before, and what's weird is I can I can listen to a song going down the road, and every now and then on certain days, like same thing with like missing my dad. There's
Yeah.
some days all of a sudden it hits you out of the blue, and you're like,
It's a frequency.
oh my gosh. And then and not that I don't think about him, but other days it's like it is what it is. But then you have some days, like even first thing when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, man, well, I feel like I could cry. Like, what is going on?
Dude, I feel that.
Yeah, well, I'm sure. I mean,
I felt
obviously, you're
it
still
every day.
fresh in it
Yeah,
too.
dude. I'm like 60 days out or something
Yeah.
like that. Something close to it. But every day I wake up, I'm like,
Yeah.
and it's like a never-ending dream.
It's like Groundhog Day. You
Yeah,
seen that?
dude.
Yeah.
And it's
Wake up,
it's
wake up,
exactly what I've
repeat.
said.
Yep.
Exactly.
Wake
It's
up,
repeat.
repeat.
Like,
Yep.
it's not real. It's
Yeah.
not real. Yeah, it's real, dude. It's
That's how it was after losing my dad. Like I said, I mean, used to he called pretty much every night. I think it was almost every night. And it was the same conversation every night. Hey, how you doing? Did you have a good day? And it was like a couple minutes long.
but you'd give
of
anything
course-
to have it again.
Yeah, exactly. And what's sad is it's not that I never enjoyed those conversations, but there were times if
You
I'm
took them for granted.
if I'm watching TV or if I'm in the middle of doing something and I'm like,
Yeah, Dad.
and
I'll
it's
talk to you
not-
later.
Yeah, right, exactly. And it's
Yeah.
now you look back and you're like, you should have just shut up and listened to that man and just whatever he wanted to talk about. And not to say that I didn't, but again, hindsight's always 20/20, same thing. So
I deal with the same thing,
Yeah.
bro. I deal with the same thing with that last conversation. Like I'm not gonna beat myself up with like what I wished I had said, but it was like I should have been a little bit more like
Right.
everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah. well, I mean that, like I said, that's hindsight's 20/20.
It's
for
not
everything.
us
I mean,
though,
yeah,
but it's not our decision.
Right.
Just like with your dad, that was
Yeah.
not our call.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was going to say too. I mean, it's the same thing with what Heather and I went through with our marriage and going through all the trials and tribulations that we went through years ago.
But it made you stronger.
Right.
It made y'all strong.
Yeah.
You and Heather are 1 in a billion.
Oh, absolutely.
You guys are
absolutely.
Heather comes off as intimidating. And I used to think the same thing. My mom thinks that.
Which
My mom was
to
like,
be honest, I kind of like it. I think it's funny, but I completely agree. She doesn't see that, but she says all the time, "Why are so many people intimidated by me?" I'm like, babe,
well, I would say because it's just like you. You guys have a presence.
Yeah.
There's some sort of aura.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's some sort of like aura around y'all that
Right.
makes you want to be there.
Yeah.
My mom was like, Heather's kind of intimidating. I'm like, no, she's not.
Yeah.
Like, just like Mary's like, get to know me and
Right.
I'll open up. But
Yeah.
if I don't know you, it's
Yeah.
gonna take a second.
Right.
Hold up, hold the
Yeah.
brakes.
Well, and she's the type, like my son's like that. They'll come in and they're more the type to read the room.
Yep.
And not to say I don't read the room, but I'm reading the room like, okay, I'll probably talk to him. I'll probably talk to him. I'm probably talk to him. Like if I go in a room of 100 people, I'm gonna walk out talking to at least 20 or 30 of them,
Yep.
depending on how long I'm in there.
Yep.
Versus Heather, she's gotten, I hate to say she's gotten better. I don't mean it like that. She's gotten more verbal to where she will talk to people. Not to say that she didn't used to, but like
Yep.
obviously owning your own business, you have to get out of your shell a little bit. You have to learn to talk.
You got to learn to
and-
talk to everybody.
But Bryson's still kind of in that phase to where now again, not to say he's like that with everybody. If he wants to talk, he's going to talk. But he is the type
Dude,
to
when he-
where even at the gym, my buddies when they come up, like older guys at the gym, I'll introduce him. I always say this is my little boy, which he's almost as tall as
It's a
me.
grown man.
Yeah, but they all say the same thing. They're
It's a
like
grown man,
after
dude.
they get to know him a little bit, they're like, Bryson, do you talk?
Yeah.
Like, is this how you always are? And one of them always says, man, I'm kind of jealous. I wish I could be like that. And I said, sometimes I say that, like, if I
Yep.
could just shut up,
Yep.
and I can't. Like, I try, and I'm like,
That's
man,
all right.
it just ain't me. That's just not who I am. If the
But-
room's too quiet, I have to talk because I don't like silence.
Oh, Bryson, man, he's such a good kid. And
Yeah.
like with my niece, I was talking to her. I was like, She was talking about some kid at school, and I was like, "How old are you? 15?" I was like,
Mhm.
wait, just
bad.
hold on,
You
man.
never know.
They're great kids.
Yeah.
I would rather our kids be with people we know than
Right.
not. 'Cause they come from good people.
Right. Yeah.
But dude, that's just Bryson's a good kid.
Yeah, they both
So is
are. man.
Adeline, man.
We've
They're-
been very blessed. Now, luckily, that's another thing. Heather and I have always pretty much been on the same page of how we raised our kids. I know
Yep.
a lot of parents they play against each other.
Yep.
They favoritism to certain children, or I'm the good guy, you're the bad guy.
Mhm.
And not to say that we can't still do those roles, but usually if she says something, even if I disagree, 9 times out of 10, I'll be like, hey, that's what Mama said. Now later on, and when we get alone and kids aren't there, I'll be like, why?
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you let them do that? Are you for real going to ground them that long?
Yeah.
So I think it's better to be that way versus if the kids see you playing sides and like, oh well, daddy's the nice one, mama's the mean one, or vice versa.
Yeah.
They're gonna work with that. They're
And they'll
gonna
try to run to the other one. Hey,
right.
dad, mom
Yeah.
said, I said, look, if mom said this,
Yep.
this was what mom
Yep.
said. If you came to her first, it's what she
Yeah.
said, you
And
know?
but of course our kids have already figured it out. Like I'm the one with the one 9 times out of 10. I'm like, yeah, sure, if mom says yeah. And they're like, so yeah, because they know normally I'm the one like I try to be more laid back. And again, not to say Heather's not, but she is definitely more structured than I am. So it's a good thing that she is that way because otherwise there's no telling what I'll be into.
Yep. They're the platform. We're the puzzle pieces.
Yeah, you got it.
That's the way I
I
feel it,
like it.
man.
I
Both
like
Heather
it.
and Mary are so similar. It's insane.
Yeah.
You know, that's why they get along so well, and that's why we get along so well.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely right.
It's just crazy, man. But I just want to say I appreciate you coming in.
Yeah,
I appreciate you showing up for this interview.
Absolutely.
Wasn't even an
Happy to-
interview, it was just a hang.
Hey, happy to do it anytime, and we can
Yep.
do multiples.
And
So,
and another thing I want to ask is if you could say to anybody maybe a few little key points of things maybe you've dealt with that
Mhm.
you could recommend to other people, like maybe silently hurting.
Yeah.
If you could just kind of put out maybe some things you recommend for any guy or teenager or just somebody that needs to hear them words,
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. Obviously, I always try to have at least a few, whether you call them friends, family, acquaintances, somebody that you could talk to, vent with, let loose with. I know everybody says they have a bunch of friends. I look at it like have a bunch of acquaintances. I've got hundreds of people that I know, but I've got a handful of people that if I called at 2 or 3 in the morning and said, "Hey, I need you," whatever that may be for, if I just need you to listen and let me talk. I know I've got you and a handful of others, maybe. So definitely have that. I know we had mentioned before, I think therapy, counseling, I recommend it for anybody. I don't think
there's
used
no
to-
shame in getting some help from an
Right.
outside source.
Used to, I was totally against it. And again, I hate to keep saying typical man, but it usually is the typical man is like, I don't need counseling. I don't need to go to therapy. And again, that's how we were raised back then. But
Yeah.
now I look at it like now that I've been through it, I've been through anger management, couples therapy, single therapy.
Yep.
When I was going through them, especially at first, I was like, this is BS.
Yep.
I'm wasting my time. I'm wasting my money.
Yep.
But then all of a sudden, the anger management is what really like clicked the light bulb for me. Like when she said a few certain things, it was like, I probably heard these things a million times from other people, but her saying it, I guess, not being biased to me,
Took something different.
it was like, like a smack in the face. And it was like, huh.
Yeah.
And not to say it changed immediately, but that is what set that light bulb off to make it where, okay, well, maybe I should do this instead of this.
Yep.
And not to say that things are perfect or relationships perfect or anything, but I mean, like you said, with what Heather and I have, like going back to the relationship portion, I wouldn't trade it for nothing. What we've been through, wouldn't trade it for nothing. Now, her and I will still talk when we go on vacations and stuff. Like when we get alone time, we'll start getting more in-depth conversations instead of just talking on the surface.
Mm-hmm.
And it still like brings up to like emotions for both of us to where I'll start getting like where I'm like ready to cry or she'll start crying. And of course I'm like, I'm sorry for the things I did to you. And she was like, baby, it is what it is. Like at this point, like, yeah, it sucked,
Yep.
but it got us where we are. It made us who we are and made us stronger. And that's why I feel like our relationship is unbreakable at this point.
I agree.
So,
You guys are inspirational.
yeah.
I will
I
say, like,
appreciate it.
even seeing the businesses both y'all do, your beautiful family,
Mhm.
your presences, like I'm grateful. So is my family, my
Mhm.
kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys are you're my brother.
Yeah, you as
You
well.
know,
You
blood
got
can make us
your
closer.
wife and your kiddos, y'all all family for life.
Absolutely. And
for
we got
sure.
we got many trips planned and we always will. And
Can't wait.
I'm grateful for you for being vulnerable,
Yep.
coming out here.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I look forward to many more interviews.
Absolutely, man.
All right,
Happy
brother.
to do
We're
it. You
going.
let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, we'll chop it up, bro.
That
I
sounds
appreciate
like a
you.
plan. Absolutely.
I love
you
you,
both.
man.